Mohsin Shaikh, and I'm the founder and director of Haztech Innovations. We are based in Margao. We are an 8-year-old company. We deal in app development, website development, digital marketing, VFX, and game development. Haztech, okay, not a lot of people know about Haztech. The name is derived from my grandmother. Her name was Hajira. So Hajira technology is Haztech. What makes Haztech? I finished my schooling from St. Joseph High School, Akem. I was not the brightest students. I was one of the naughtiest students. I was not the one who used to be, the one who was studious, who was into studies or whatever it is. I was mostly, the one who would probably like to play games, was into sports, and I had a very, good connect with my, with my teachers. Though I was the naughtiest one, but the teachers would always, I would always connect with them, ask for things, how things have been made. I was very inquisitive, about video games. So that's when I thought of getting into IT. If I like playing games, why not, make my own game? So that's when it all started, and I did not know much about higher education. So my brother actually guided me towards BCA. In my higher secondary, I did my computer techniques, that is from Rosaries, wherein I was again not the brightest students, though IT was something which was very something that I wanted to do, but again over there also I was not the brightest student, but I knew that I had to learn something. But ultimately, I came out of my higher secondary and then joined my bachelor's. That's when I met a mentor and a teacher. Her name was Melissa. She actually guided me through a lot of things, about game development or software development or app development. And since there on, it's a different me that that I've come out from there. Thinking about about myself being here today right now, what I am. I would have never thought that I would have been owning a company back then when I was doing my schooling. I thought I would just be a freelancer maybe, or a game developer working for a particular company maybe. But once I saw a lot of things around that were not actually up to the mark. Maybe if you look at the like the main thing that I started this company was to build applications to solve problems. Okay, and at the same time I had that young boy's dream of building a game one day. And thankfully we are in that position where we are actually working on a lot of games right now, wherein we are actually building a lot of games which would be launched in coming few months or years ahead. So yes, that guy who liked game in the schooling is now a founder and director of a tech company. When I was pursuing my masters, that's when I realized that I will start my own company. So my internship, we have 6 months internship in our masters. So that's when I started working on my own project. So the project that I was working on was an e-commerce website that is actually one of Goa's first e-commerce website for garments, for formal suits, that is jinas.in. So I'm the only person from my family who is not into the business of fashion. So we are 35 years into the business of suits and tailoring. I am the only person who opted for to being in the IT, and I said if I am disappointing my family, why not start a new business digitally. So I started off from there. My final year project was actually jinas.in, which ultimately became Goa's first e-commerce garment store. And from there on, it was a journey of everything that has been right now. I knew the era of internet was started. Back then, not eBay or Amazon did not exist back then. In India, though they were a big name outside India. I found an opportunity in specifically I wanted to target the Goan clients or the consumers. I did not target pan India initially, and we started off with something very small, okay, with a website. And then I moved ahead and I built a mobile application thereon. So building starting off with the business online was very easy. Developing the website or the app was quite easy, I would say. The most difficult part was creating a brand awareness and getting the crowd or the customers to understand that okay, here we are, we are now selling garments online, to make the consumers adapt to this new technology or this new form of business was a bit difficult. And that's when we started with marketing. So that's when I realized that marketing is very crucial and is the most difficult part in any business. So if you look at a lot of businesses online or across the world, you may have not bought any particular product, but you will know about it, and that's all because of marketing. And that's when we thought of entering this field of digital marketing. And we are right now marketing around 30 clients across the globe, so across different continents, different countries. So that's when we thought of getting into marketing. And I realized that marketing was one of the most crucial factor in any business. Development was, I would say, is a very small part of your entire business that we have come across. Nuste.in is one of my friend's website. He again, he's actually a fish, a wholesaler. So back in the lockdown, when everything was shut and people were opting for online services, and that's when my friend Aftab Mohammed, he owns this brand Nuste.in, wherein he came to me and he started wanted to do something online. So that's when I recommended him to go for a website, an e-commerce website that sells fish online. That was something which he came up with at the right time. And it's an amazing thing to see him flourishing right now, because he is one of the pioneers in Goa right now, whose entire platform has been designed and deployed by us. So it's something that I always talk about this person. He wanted to sell fish, and now he's one of the most well-known person in Goa right now, selling fish online. So this is something we built in lockdown. So the same model that we had used for Jinas is the same technology behind this. One of the most closest project to my heart is something that has been most challenging to me. We are actually working on an app called Petba. It is actually an app for animals. And one of the most challenging parts that I look into it, and people sometimes laugh at the idea, is because we are trying to build an application, an AI platform, wherein actually humans can interact with animals. It may sound foolish that how can you can understand animals. It sounds like a sci-fi movie, but at an extent we are very much close there. So that day won't be far, wherein we actually deploy this application soon on Play Store and App Store, wherein you can actually use a mobile phone and using the help of an application, understand what your cat or your dog is trying to say. So this is entire again will be built on AI, which has a model where it actually understands a language of an animal through voice modulation. It is always that I actually teach in a lot of colleges in Goa, so I tell my students about this. Your success will not lie on the marks that you possess, but on the skill sets and the problem solving capabilities that you have. So everybody has problems. Okay, if you come across anybody, you will not find anybody who says I have no problem in my life. So when you say you have a problem, that's a problem statement, and if you can build a solution for it, that's your product. So when I'm a part of now this app Petba. If I talk about Petba, I'm a part of a lot of rescue groups across, or rescue shelters, animal shelters across Goa. I've found that we needed a and one point technology solution which can actually help a lot of rescuers and animal enthusiasts to help animals in distress. That's when Petba was born. Petba was an app to help animals who are maybe injured or who are actually up for adoptions, to bring in a common platform. We right now use Instagram, Facebook, or WhatsApp stories to tell people about if about a dog for adoption or a cat for adoption, or any animal has been injured in a particular location. We try to, on Petba, we're trying to build a network wherein all these rescuers, animal volunteers, animal lovers, they come together, help animals. So that's being an animal rescuer is where I found a problem, because we do not have a a platform where when we all could come together and help the animals. So identify a problem, and build, something which can actually solve this problem digitally is what, is what has been my, vision across. Also, if I look at, the other apps, we are actually working on policing technologies. Now, if you look at, Comcop, it's an app that we have built for police. This is from to bridge the gap between the community and the police. Now, if you look at, all these, across the world, police and community sometimes do not get along. So we are actually building, solving that problem. Okay, if you look at, the community right now is not exactly connected with the police departments. So that's when, we build, an application for that. So this app was built in association with a partner of mine whose name is Anish Kwenim. He's a community policing expert, wherein he knows more about how to get, the community, with the police, and, build an amazing, kind of a having a relationship with the police. So that, Anish Karim, the person, who actually was a part of Verna police station, in Goa. So he was actually able to, do this, wherein the community actually came to the police departments and actually helped them build a better relationship between them. But the same thing, I came across this person, and, we actually, started to build a technology which can actually help maybe the entire state or the entire country, as a matter of fact. So if you can build this kind of a, kind of a platform wherein you get the community, and interact with the police departments, that is something amazing that we have seen. The crime rates over there has, dropped by 87%, and the community and the police department interaction increased by 200%. So likewise, if you are having, a healthy, community across the police departments, that's what, we want right now. If you look at the entire world, you do not hear a lot of good things about, good things happening with the police departments. So this app actually shows the brighter side, the positive side of the police, or the police departments, that the good work that they do, and the community policing and the proactive policing that, that actually the police work on. So it actually helps, bringing down crime, and, build relationship between the police department and the community. So this is how we actually go ahead and build, a particular, an app, or maybe a, innovative website. Maybe you have to just go ahead and identify a particular problem and build a solution towards it. I think this one quote, that I came across a few years back, when I was doing my MCA. This quote is from Mahatma Gandhi. He said, be the change that you want to see, in this world. So that, it hit me very, very, hardly. And next quote, I read is, the greatness of the nation is judged by how you treat the animals. And I realized, seeing, how animals are treated in our country, that makes us one of the worst countries, across the globe. We may say सारे जहाँ से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा. But if Gandhiji is saying that, if you are actually not treating your animals right in your own country, then your country is not great. So, seeing around, coming across so many things that, that is happening for animals. So I thought, why not bring the change? I always, tell my students, or my, my employees, or my team, my teammates, that, work on projects that actually, will actually give an impact in the community, or will have a social impact. Not always look at, at money. If you look at building something amazing, money will run behind you. So, solving problems is what we need to focus on in this real life, and ultimately, the money will follow. Is what I feel like. If you look at WhatsApp, they build something, just to solve a simple problem of messaging. Okay, if you have internet, you message, you chat, or have a conversation for free, and you look at it, it was sold for some billions of dollars. So they had no monetization, initially. They just wanted to, a lot of people to come across on the platform. If you look at Facebook or maybe Instagram, initially when they started, they had no ads popping up, or they had this thing, we need people to come on board, solve some maybe real life problem. They are connecting people, it is the same aspect. We also trying to solve some simple problems, which ultimately can, will get there, at the stage of monetization, but not now. Something which, we want to do right now is solve some real life problems. And if it becomes a hit, it will become a hit. And then, is something we would say, a Goan boy, or a team from Goa have built something which is now been renowned in, internationally. Is something which, what aim we have right now. I think the culture plays a vital role in this. We have a culture. Or if you go and ask, if you go and ask group of 10 people, who are, right now pursuing their bachelors. If you go and ask them, where do you see yourself, in the coming 6 or 1 year, they will probably say in UK or maybe in the Middle East. I think that's because of the culture that has been set. You know, I believe, if you have the passion, towards doing something for your state, or if you want to, do something, for your own people here, then I feel, it's something that nobody can stop you from, achieving that. If you just need to have a vision. Okay, without a vision, without having any risk as such, there's nothing that you will achieve in this world. So for me, it's always has been, I wanted to do something, because I still get a lot of calls from my friends who are abroad to, come and move to maybe UK or to Canada or US. But I know, what I have worked for in the past 8 long years. The results will show, and it's going to be amazing. I am pretty sure people, who are actually still calling me to different parts of the, different countries, they would be proud and telling their friends, what I have done for, I being their friend and done in this state. I understand, it's difficult. People, opt for, going and working in different countries, or outside the state maybe, because people don't want to take risk. Okay, I have taken the risk, in doing something. And a lot of times, that I've come across, I have been lonely, because I do not know, like, sometimes is a time where you do not know what to do when. Okay, you are alone, and you have to take some, pretty harsh decisions. And people are scared for that. And if people are scared, they will not do certain things. People are scared of failures. uh, I have failed, 100 times in my career. Okay, but I'm looking forward to, just winning once. People, if they have that kind of attitude of, not fearing the failure, that's when, they'll understand, that one piece of success, that one moment of success can change the entire life. So this is what I feel like, the young youth right now, should focus on not failing. They should look at the brighter side, on the other side of the day. So every you know every day there are times when, you feel like, okay, what do I do next? You have no one. So that's when, you need to have someone to look up to. If you have a mentor, if you have maybe, the young youth, they have so much support now, from the government. You have some, amazing, teachers coming across. A lot of colleges are now, interacting with the industry, wherein industries have opened doors to, actually guide a lot of young youth out there. I almost around 10 colleges, I teach right now in Goa. And Damodar College is one of them, in which I'm closely associated with them. So we, are now trying to raise this culture of, bringing entrepreneurs. And when I teach them a particular, topic, I make sure, they do it with interest. A lot of times what happens is this, the students, they do it for the sake of marks. But we need to change that kind of culture. I always tell them, you cannot put Virat Kohli to play football and expect him to score goals. Or if you play, if you put Messi to play cricket, he not score a century. So everybody is good in something or the other. If the culture or the education system forces them to be something that they will not perform good at, that's a wrong thing. That's a red flag therein. So you have to nurture people in such a way that they are not scared, to do something, or they should be doing something which, they love. So that is what, I always, try to tell those students, that focus on something, that actually will bring a change within you. And which actually, which has a passion within you to work on. What helped me, getting in touch with a lot of international clients, or getting the, those people, those clients, having confidence in me is, my network. I would say, my network has helped me a lot. I'm a part of a lot of, networking organizations like BNI, JCI, wherein I'm, closely associated with. So BNI, has been one of my most, important mode of marketing, I would say, wherein, that's from there on, I actually, started with VFX. The VFX market in India, is huge, and even in Goa, we have a lot of, few companies right now, not many. So, these organizations actually helped me. This my associates actually recommended my name, for the work that, that we have been doing previously. So we need to understand that one thing is, your net worth is your network. Okay, your, the larger network, you have, the larger net worth will you be having, is what, that I have learned in the past, 8 years that I have been a part, doing business. The growth that I have seen, being a part of this networking organization is huge. Without, having a support from, different associates, it would have been difficult, I would say. So if you look at the statistics, across the world, 90% of your business rely on word of mouth. Yeah, so that is something that we actually, we actually, meaning we rely on, associates, recommending us, to different clients across the world. You name it, like, we have served in, clients from Australia, from UK, from US. This has all come through because of the recommendations that we have. We started from Goa, and, we are now across the globe because of the, the recommendation that our own clients or my associates have been giving out to their clients and associates. What makes me, completely focused on this is, you know you look at the mission. Okay, when you are building something, you look at the mission, what you are focusing on. Imagine, tomorrow using this app for, the policing technology, Comcop. If you are actually, with the help of this app, if you are able to save one life, if you are able to save maybe a life in out of it, that is something which actually will give me goosebumps, saying, okay, I have done something which actually, helped save somebody's life. Maybe it is a life of a human being using Comcop, or maybe it is a life of an animal using Petba. Those things keeps me driving on. It may sound that I'm working on those projects for 3 or 4 years or 5 years, but we are not giving up on this. Okay, we are not giving up on this, because if tomorrow someone comes and tells me that, he comes and tells me that, okay, that thanks to your app, we could save someone's life. If tomorrow the police department comes and says, thanks to you, we have saved X number of thousand lives in a year, that's something that we want to hear. That is something we want to leave an impact on people's life. It is never, it's not always about making money. It's leaving an impact on people's life. It's something that, actually drives us, to work on these apps. So what I always tell my students is, try to do something that has your keen interest. Okay, like I said, if you do not like to, to program, or maybe to code an application or website, do not get into it. Okay, if you like something like designing, or maybe, you like animation, or you like, building mobile app, maybe video games, or even if you like to play video games, go and, focus on those things. You look at now, we are having, people who are doing really amazing jobs, by playing video games. We have tournaments, wherein you actually, are paid like in millions of dollars, for, maybe for XYZ, any kind of a game, or a tournament, online. So it's a different thing. Back then, in the 90s, or in, people would laugh, being known as a video game player. That was only for a leisure time, but now, if you look at it, it's a huge business opportunities. So I always tell my students, whatever it is, whatever, has your keen interest, focus on that. Okay, if you like, something, pursue that thing. So as I said, you cannot put Virat Kohli to go and play football, or like Messi to come and play cricket. So your keen interest is something that you have to be, that you have to know. And the second thing I would say is like, never be afraid of failures. You do whatever it is in life, whether you go for a job or you do freelancing or you start your own company, you will see failures, you will see difficulties. So never be scared about failures. It always has to be, you either lose, you either learn, or you win. You never lose. You never lose in anything that you do. If you have that kind of a mindset, you're going to achieve a lot of things. Is what I always tell them, that you either learn or you win. You never lose. So that is something that I tell them about starting off with their career, or maybe starting off with their own businesses. Other thing is, what I tell them is discipline. Okay, if you look at a lot of the young youth, they do not have discipline with their work, or maybe their daily life. Okay, technology has bright side, and also has the darker side of it. The more and more people are getting addicted towards the social media, the lazier they are getting. Okay, so if you talk about discipline, that's something the young youth, we have to look at. And the last thing I would say, I always tell them is never give up, never give up. Okay, some things might take a year or so, or some things might take maybe some 10 years or so. So if you are focused, and if that you're working on something will actually give you a lot of greatness or success, focus on those things. Because ultimately it is all about you. Whether you lose or you win, people will talk good, and there are also people who will also talk bad about you. So do not worry about the world out there. Focus on yourself, and focus on the thing that you're actually working on. And never give up. Never give up is something which I want to tell the young youth out there.